I wanted to give like a little bit of a break. Between the Serum Powder Cosmogoyf decks, even though we played two of them. We played Serum Powder Goyf in Belcher, which was we had some reasonable moderate success with, and then also in Domain Zoo, kind of reasonable build too. But Powder Goyf has felt really good and really powerful. Just not only does like just powdering the first this is kind of a weird way to think about it, right? And here's how I'm thinking about it. Serum Powder is almost card advantage in this deck. Or I would even go as far to say it is card advantage, or you could maybe, instead of saying card advantage, it's board advantage. But instead of like usually when you're Serum Powder, you're just seeing just a new hand and it's kind of card filtering. Every time you use Serum Powder, your Goyfs are just, any Goyf you draw becomes that much more powerful. And so it's like when you powder, your deck becomes more powerful, which is it's a weird dynamic that I didn't like fully understand until I played with it. Or maybe this sounds obvious in your head, and like maybe we knew it, but like really it feels really, really good to powder. It's like when you powdering is an active advantage in a way that like I didn't expect it to feel this way. It's on now in this build, it's a double active advantage because it also enables Ketramose by itself. So your Ketramose on turn 3 is just online, which is pretty powerful to have the indestructible and this lifelink attacker and blocker. That's going to continue to get some value over the course of the game. So the idea is that that ability is kind of doubled up here. Now, I am a little dubious that we have no real way to make good use of powder besides just growing our Urza Saga tokens. I am hoping that Ketramose and the Saga plan is just going to give us enough value that we can mostly kind of tank these dead draws. We'll see. We're also playing Rumble in this build. I think it's important to have some graveyard fillers so the relics can actually get stuff in exile, and the Rumbles are also going to give us an added degree of consistency, letting us see Ketragoyf and Ketramose, Cosmogoyf, and Relic more often. Reset my mic. Okay, hold on. I'm playing Hollow Knight right now, and then this wasn't an attempt to get ready for Silksong, but it seems like Hades 2 is probably going to come out before I even finish Hollow Knight. Too many video games this year. A really good year for video games though. Like It Takes Two and Expedition 33 were both great experiences for me. Yeah, we might get some Cube done. Probably Cube later today for sure if we do a deep challenge run. I think this is the hand that wants to play the Backstreet's turn 1, right? Yeah, Esther's going to be excited about the Hades 2 full release. We were playing like the early access when it first came out, then we just put it down to wait for the full release. And then we're going to do a little bit of a late night Hades 2 streaming. Gingjur rated the 18 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Isn't Hades 2 out since like a year? The full release, right? Yeah, we were playing the early access, but like the story wasn't finished, and I did feel like there were like a good amount of balance issues too. Okay, do you Bowmaster or do you play the Goyf? I think we Bowmaster. We do have a main deck Haywire Mite to deal with Leyline if they have the Scion. They do have the Scion, not that we have a Saga or the Haywire Mite just yet. We can try to find one. We'll try to dig for one off the Ketramose instead of just slam the Goyf. Maybe slamming the Goyf would have been better against exactly Scion, right? Yeah, but like It Takes Two, Expedition 33, Silksong, and then Hades. This is a good year for video games. And another creature? Tough. I'm down to 13. Oh. What does Shock and Godless Shrine mean? Binding, another binding, I guess? Can't really mean anything else, can it? You mean? Oh yeah, I mean Split Fiction, not It Takes Two. I didn't actually play all of It Takes Two. I played a little bit of it. Okay. Did want to find that so we can grab the Haywire Mite. Warning: Silksong is more unforgiving and much longer and much bigger than Hollow Knight. I got burnt out on it after 25 hours. I don't know, and I'll come back to it. I have heard that it's harder, and Quite frankly, I found Hollow Knight to be pretty dang tough. So we'll see. I'm gonna give it a try. But I think Hollow Knight is a really tough game. Like I don't think I've beaten a single boss on the first try. Have I seen the Bazaar? I have some friends that like the Bazaar. I've heard good things about it, but haven't decided to give it a try, I guess. The Goyf can like lock down the Kavu for a... Oh, that's an interesting draw. Does that mean I should attack with my Goyf? I think their life total is so high that we're gonna win this game not by racing. We're gonna win this game by Haywire Miting the ley line and then outgrinding our opponent. So let's play around a removal spell by not gonna tap the relic, I think, for the card. Chill. So we're dead to a flames. Not to a bolt. I guess. Yeah, we need to stack the trigger where we gain the 2 life off the Haywire Mite before the ley line gets exiled, so we don't die to a bolt. This ley line. Yeah, so stack like this. I guess it automatically stacks that way. So I go back down to 5. Now we draw a Verdant Catacombs. So it seems like I can exile this Kavu and go to 4. So there's the stub, but the stub I think makes a little bit of sense the way they shocked in the Godless Shrine. Although I don't know why they could have just used the fetch land. That's okay though. So I guess we need to get in with Ketramose. Go up to 9. Okay, so we're at 9, which means we can take a hit down to 5 and then still be alive against a Flage or a Bolt. So it seems like we can afford to draw exactly 1 card here. Can maybe gain a little bit more life off the Cling to Dust. Although there's also a chance I just want to pop the Relic on my opponent's turn so I can make a gigantic Goyf. So it'd be 16. I guess it's just a little bit short of a lethal attack. 3 cards in their hand. They play an untapped Temple Garden. And another Kavu. I guess they did need the Temple Garden to cast the Kavu, so that doesn't necessarily give us any information about what's in their hand. I do think it's pretty... To me, it feels like there's a good chance that mystery card is a Bolt. Maybe it's just... The best thing is just hold up the Cling to Dust instead of popping the Relic now. Okay, that's an interesting draw, too. So I need to attack with Ketramose. Yeah, I think I just don't really have any choice besides just attack with Ketramose, play second Goyf so that we can both block. And then this time probably popping the Relic end of turn. I guess we play the other Relic too. Did they not play a Surveil land? Like, they've had so many opportunities to fetch for a Surveil land. Fable, okay. Always breathe a nice big sigh of relief when it's a Fable instead of anything else. Maybe we'll hit our Shadowspear off the Rumble. Wow. Cool game. Nice to beat Leyline Scion. Let's bring in the Fade from History. They are a Flage deck, so the Trespassers are like, okay, the Bowmasters are pretty bad. BM, as some call them, apparently. Maybe has to play one. It still kills Ragavan. Checking on the challenge. We're 1-1 at the moment. We beat Storm, and then we lost to Reanimator. Another one of these games where we just are on the draw game 1. We have Cauldron in our opening hand, and we get turn 2 Archon. That's happened the last 2 challenges, unfortunately. We did win game 2, and then lost a tough game 3 that we maybe could have maneuvered better, but it was a tough game. We did Orvar them game 2. Okay, on the draw. Don't like having no powder. You don't want Thoughtseize against the Mulligan, against Domain Zoo. I think it's just a little too good to Mulligan. But they really only have their Ragavans as the 1-drops, and if they have Leyline Scion, this is a way to break it up. They're on a mull to 5 here. Get basic Swamp here pretty easy. They have Stub in their hand. Kind of feel like this pause means that they have like Stub Scion and that they can't turn 2 Scion if they stub, and then they play Steam Vents and they realize their mana doesn't work and they concede. Let's mulligan this. It's weird to be playing like a Thoughtseize deck that mulligans so aggressively, but you just kind of have to mulligan some of the higher upside hands, I think, in the blind game 1. It's nice that you just have like these nut draws with Serum Powder, though. All right, let's put a Godless Shrine back on the bottom. Maybe better to put like a non-land. Okay, Powder again. Yeah, then just like we just have all-line Ketramose turn 3 now because we mulliganed. Very weird deck. I'm going to take Box Opal. Hard decision there. Was this hand a keep? It looks like it was a keep. They could turn 1 Thought Cast. Okay, they drew a Urza Saga, which is not a bad pickup for them. I don't really see a lot of reason. I guess they can attack with this. Okay, turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 12-13 Cosmogoyf. Your turn. Then active Ketramose. Yeah, I know the powder Goyf, it just is something good, you know. It's very similar to Leyline Scion. But it's even more than that though. Like it's crazy that you powder and the powder gives your future hands value. Very weird. Do you basically always have powder in my opener? No, you have it as often as you have any other card in your opener. But you do mulligan kind of aggressively, so you see them more often. Like usually like powder is a way for you to like, you know, mulligan a 7 and keep a 7. A lot of times you like mulligan 7s and you're really happy to see powder in your 6-card hand. It's just so odd. All right, so they can start doing some stuff. Oh, do you always use the powder? Yeah, you basically always use the powder. It's sometimes you don't if you already have powdered and if you've already powdered and you have Goyfs, then you probably don't. But a single use of powder makes both of these cards so much stronger that it just seems almost always right. Okay, so the hand is Thoughtcast, Thought Monitor, Kappa Cannoneer. It looks like they're going for the Kappa Cannoneer. Can't block the Goyf though, so they're taking 16. Or so not the Goyf, the Ketramose. Do I have Vigilance Ketramose here? Seems like I won't get to block if I do. Be a funny game to lose. After Thoughtseizing their only mana source and then playing a turn 2 12-13 into an online Ketramose. We do have 2 lethal attackers in play, and Ketramose requires 2 blockers to be put in front of it. But if they find a Shadowspear to put on the Kappa Cannoneer, we could definitely lose. Their hand right now is Thoughtcast 3 mystery cards. All right, so a little bit of a bummer for them that they couldn't do anything else. So we get to kill 3 creatures and gain 4 life with this attack. The next turn, they're pretty dead to the Shadowspear, probably. It's going to be tough for them to kill me while I'm at 16. But it is possible if they find Pinnacle Emissary, actually, if they just kill me with Kappa Cannoneer. Two mana Thoughtcast is going to be tough to win the game with this turn. So they play a Box Opal without floating mana on the other one. Yeah, it should be good here. All right. So up a game against Affinity. I'm glad they're playing against a faster deck too, so that we can just finish this round and then focus on round 3 of the challenge. The Bowmasters are really good against them too. I don't know if I want Needle for cranial plating. I think I'm going to bring in the Vexing Bauble. Might just cut the Rumbles. Rumbles don't find this stuff, so it's kind of okay, I guess. Does it get more linear than this though? Like perfect curve sequencing spear? I don't know. It does get more linear than this, yeah. There's definitely some weird decisions. On the draw against Affinity, mulligan, I think. Just so I'm interested in having one of my bigger cards in the deck, if that makes bigger sideboard cards. I don't think we can go to 4 though. Ketramose's not quite online. Having a Bowmaster is good though. Okay, not a crazy turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary. I think we need to keep land number 3. I think it's better just to do this main phase when they don't have Rebuke up. It does give them the info that they probably should just make a Saga token this turn, but it's just so good against so many of their cards. And I think I want to kill the Mid-Mite because the ground chump blockers seem to be more relevant to me, but I could be wrong about that. All right, let's go for Thoughtseize into the Goyf. Been running Urza Saga for a while. I wanted to know if there's a rule for Saga when it comes to mana sources, because sometimes Saga punishes me. For instance, I have 21 lands with 4 Sprawl and 4 Ronus. I usually kind of like as a half spell. It's also like a little bit weird too. Like if you're an Urza Saga Mox Opal deck, it's like a full land where it's just like it's even like a lot of times makes 2 mana on turn 3, and making 2 mana turn 3 is really powerful. So it can get a little weird, I guess, but unfortunately the answer, like a lot of things in Magic, is it depends. These are pretty dead. I have to triple block. Unfortunately, we Serum Powdered a 5-card hand, so our Goyf is only a 5/6. And we're down to 4. So if we draw a removal spell to the construct, it's a bit awkward we don't have a Godless Shrines, because if we sack our Vexing Bauble, then we don't have the option. We have the option to dig for push or ending, but not both. Yeah, a little slow here. Let's go to game 3. So like, if you're a Urza Saga deck with 21 lands, 4 Sprawls, and 4 Ronus, this is a lot of mana sources in general. So it's like to say that your deck punishes you because of Saga. I don't know if this is just because it's a Utopia Sprawl, but it is always weird when you have 29 mana sources in your deck, but only 21 lands, and then your hand gets clogged up with like Sprawls and Fanatics that you can't cast, and Urza Sagas that you can't activate, and you're missing your land drops. Like it's always a bit weird, right? It's always a bit weird. Okay, on the play. Yeah, I know four of the lands are sagas, but that's part of the weirdness. If you regular mulligan after powder, do you draw 7 and then go down? It's weird. So if you've already mulliganed, then you powder, you bottom a card. Agree with this. You bottom a card when you powder, and then your next hand is just the number of cards that you would have seen, and then when you mulligan again, it goes back up to 7. It's a little bit odd. So they're repping a rebuke. With the Culling Ritual in my hand and second Bowmaster, I'm definitely content to trade this for a rebuke. About a third Bowmaster. Yeah, the leagues have been kind of all over the place. A lot of weird stuff. Looks like round 3 of the challenge is starting in 2 minutes here. They do grab a Shadowspear. Relic is the best draw, I think. Yeah, there are very few good ways to flicker artifacts. Really, the only new way is the new card hide on the ceiling. It's very difficult to flicker artifacts in Modern. Yeah, Culling Ritual, Culling Ritual fans in shambles. I guess we still cast it. We go to 1 next turn. And the problem with going to 1 with Ketramose in play is that I guess we can gain life off the Orc Army attack, but the problem with going to 1 with Ketramose in play is that an inactive Ketramose is activating, it's going to kill you. But our round 3 of the challenge has started. We're playing updated VV Cauldron, beat Storm, lost to Grixis Reanimator. Let's go ahead and see what this draw step is. If I draw like exactly Haywire Mite, I can kill the Saga, then maybe they don't have an artifact, but here's the Relic, and then so we attack with the Orc, we go to 3, and then we play, and then we sacrifice Relic, and then we take 2 to the Ketramose. And we try to draw the Haywire Mite. Oh, good. Okay. Round 3 is starting. Not sure. I played up. There's like this arcade card game where you would play, and then it would give you like a little card token, and you would place it, and you would like order your stuff. Me and Esther played that one afternoon. It was really fun. Okay, basically always powder, and then mulligan this 1 land Saga hand. And then I think on the draw we'll keep a Goyf after, or 1 land Goyf hand after we've powdered. Yeah, I'm excited for the Spider-Man set to come out. There's definitely enough to dive into. Okay, turn 1 Pride. Hopefully you can find a land and have a game of Magic the Gathering. Okay, so we can go White Source for Prismatic Ending, or Godless Shrine to Prismatic Ending this turn, Thoughtseize next turn, and then play the Goyf on turn 3 if we don't find a different untapped land. Although we're kind of incentivized to Thoughtseize anyways, because they don't have that many cards that can answer the Goyf, so if we could just take 1, this could be kind of nice. Also, taking a bombardment could be kind of nice. Certainly like this draw. Okay. It'll be interesting to see if they flip the Ajani. Them drawing Ragavan, they probably will. Them getting my land up the top is kind of a headache too. Can we agree that the arena image holders suck? I don't even know I don't know what this is referring to. Are talking about like the Omen Path cards? A lot of people say they like the Omen Path arts more than they like the Spider-Man versions. I've seen a lot of hate for both the Omen Path versions and the regular versions. I've seen a lot of people upset. I don't see a lot of people very happy about it. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people being like, I like this set. But I like the set, so that's something. My opponent's hand is discharge, Ragavan. I like the Open Path versions better generally. I don't really have a strong opinion. I don't think either are particularly good or interesting. So the hand's still just discharge. I feel like I want to wait a turn on flipping the Ajani. I can get a big life linker going. Thank you, Serum Powder. Would not be playing this game without you. Yeah, we've been having the same Universe Beyond discourse for 3 years at least. And it's been a while since I've heard any new or interesting take on the topic. Okay, so this is an awesome draw because I get to go Bowmaster, ping the cat, and then if they flip the Ajani, we can kill the Ajani. It does give them a couple of really good galvanic discharge targets. So let's say they go discharge. They're going to fly the Ragavan for 4, hit me down to 4, and then I'm at 8 anyways. Yeah, it seems like I can tap the Relic is what I'm trying to figure out. I might want to leave the Goyf back. Probably not. I think we'll just. Right, so we're going to be at 11, and then down to 7, and then down to 5. Yeah, so if they draw exactly Goblin Bombardment, nothing happens because they can't flip the Ajani. If they draw exactly Ajani, they flip Ajani, they'll have 4, hit me for 4, +4 +1. 4 + 4 + 1 is... I guess they can hit for me for 1 more. So it's too much math. But it seems like 6 + 4 is 10. So I looks like if I'm counting correct, which I don't really care to double check again. I think I go to 1 if they top deck Ajani with this attack. Yeah, they also only have 2 Ajanis left in the deck too, so not very likely. I think if Spider-Man set was a general Marvel set and had no other Marvel heroes, it would have been better received. Too much Spider-Man. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I not that too many characters got multiple cards. I think maybe it was only Peter Parker got multiple cards, but like that was something I also didn't like about Lord of the Rings was that the same character gets multiple cards in the same set. I think it just makes things a little confusing, not a lot confusing, but just like a tiny bit annoying. So they flip a Rumble, which lets them technically be alive here. Pretty good hit for them, especially if they find a Flage. They do not find a Flage, though. They find another copy of Guide of Souls. Let's get to gain them enough life, actually, that they only need to block the Cosmogoyf. Oh, they can also block... No, they can't block with the Spawn and Sack. The mystery card is a Fable? Okay, so when I attack, I go to 10. And... We're dead this game. So they probably are going to get to double jump with the Guide of Souls. They're going to block one thing on the Spawn. They're going to let the Ketramose, the Spawn on the Goyf. They're going to let the Ketramose hit them. If I play one Cosmogoyf as a blocker and I'm at 10, I and I'm at 10, then I'm gonna get hit for literally 8 in the air, plus I block here, plus I die. So I could play around the I can't it's hard to play around them drawing nothing, so I think we're gonna try to draw a removal spell. Maybe 2. We're gonna go down to 3 with this pop. Looking for Prismatic Ending, Shadowspear, push. Okay, there we go. Whew. Okay, so in this matchup, we bring in the Graveyard Trespassers and the Culling Rituals, and then I think we also bring in the Needle. And I think I mostly just want to cut the Rumbles and maybe 1 Relic, although the Relics are pretty important. Oh, I guess maybe we go down on Thoughtseizes instead. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, Shadowspear goaded. Yeah, you can glass half empty or glass half full that game. You could be like, I can't believe it's possible for me to lose at this spot. Or you could be like, oh, my opponent, where was that on the play? I was on the play, but they did go, Pride into a Johnny, and they had another Johnny in their hand. And then the top of the library was really kind to them, and the Ragavan was really kind to them, and we won anyways. Shadowspear ever so good, you want to index post board? I think no, on the count of just being legendary and tutorable, right? Okay, we're on a mull to 6 with a pretty reasonable hand. I think let's go ahead and keep it despite not having a powder. Let me take a peek over here. Okay. I'm always shocked when Saga cuts Shadowspear. It feels like it bails you out in the creature matchup so much. Yeah, it just is honestly really depends on what the creature matchup is and what the metagame looks like. Like, it obviously looks way better in our deck because we've got freaking Cosmogoyf. Yeah, I probably wear the Spider-Man mask. I have it here, actually. I'll probably wear it for a little bit on release day, but it was honestly very uncomfortable to wear it the whole recording. I could like barely see, and it was like it's hard to breathe, and my beard is like poking out through it, so I probably will not wear it for very long if it does make a return. If we draw white swords, we can start Ketramosing and Prismatic Ending. I'm gonna double block the Guide of Souls, so I guess this is I needed to let this trigger resolve first because of Galvanic Discharge. They could just use it as a ritual here, okay. Yeah, like I recorded like 10 cards with the mask on, and I was like really not enjoying it, and I'm like, I have to commit to this bit. I was like, I've made it this far, I've got to see it through. I used to do different hats on stream like years ago. Yeah, that was me. A bit that, is happily retired at this point. Interesting. Let's make my Goyf a 1/2. Okay, they missed their second land and then they drew Arena, it seems. We found a relic. I guess I'm actually a little bit worried about them Galvanic Discharging to save their Johnny when I target it. Yeah, sorry, I guess I probably should have just played the Goyf this turn. Like the amount that they're pausing makes me think they really have the pending. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and I guess it's a little bit awkward too, because like with the Saga, I can't Prismatic Ending the flip to Johnny. I do get to attack the Johnny for 1. When we get all the Infinity Stones, I can make a Thanos deck while I paint myself purple. Maybe. Oh, Lightning Bolt. You don't see actual Bolt and Boros that often, but probably pretty good. As I just attack them, I'm gonna Prismatic Ending. Even if I can't play the 5/6 Goyf next turn. They do discard a Flage. Pretty high chance that our Saga can get a Relic for the Flage before that comes down. They get to hit me for 4 down to 10. Okay, we draw another copy of Relic. I get a little bit paid off if I find a Surveil land or a Saga. Okay. By popping now. How much does Serum Powder help this deck? It's insane. Like we would have had no chance last game without Serum Powder. It's I think pretty mandatory for the build in my opinion. So we're gonna get hit for 6 down to 10. 8 down to 2. Well, if they just don't have anything else, the Goyf Shadowspear is going to stabilize. They flip a Pithing Needle. They know what to do with that. I'm not cracking Verdant Catacombs. I want them to name that. Okay, they do not know what to do with that. They needed to name Shadowspear. So it seems like we can pretty comfortably surveil. I say 1 life. I don't have a green-white surveil land. They have no cards in their hands. They have very few top decks that help them much here. Seems like, I honestly feel like this pause is like them realizing their mistake. Yeah, I mean, they could have Bolt or Flage. They've already used 2 Bolts and a Flage, so it's not very likely, but it's like they have to draw one of those or a Goblin. I guess they have a lot of cards. They also have Goblin Bombardment and the Johnny. No, Johnny doesn't do it because we just block and gain the life before the flip. Okay, they have a lot of cards. Yeah, they didn't name Shadowspear. A Boros opponent making a mistake. They have just the Ragavan in their hand. I don't know why we're waiting this long. I guess they also have the Surveil, so maybe I'm not as in good position as I thought. Not that I should have done anything different. A Shadow Legion. Their Goyf's going to be 10, 11. And thank you, Nantalk, for the 6 months. Hope you're doing well. The Graveyard of Marsh Flats. Is the Surveil going to be the difference between winning and losing this game? They dash the Ragavan. Do they know how lifelink works in combat damage? Oh, I'm also dead to Galvanic Discharge. Dude, I'm dead to so many cards. I was so wrong. Yeah. Oh, and dead to Thraben Charm. Okay. Yeah, I was dead to a lot more cards than I thought I was. They do know how it works. Surveil lands, the difference between winning and losing this game. We do get to be on the play for game 3. Powder. And now we've got 2 7/8 Goyfs. Great. Pretty tempting to get Swamp Forest here, so if they sided in Blood Moon, we don't really care. They could have Thraben Charmed their Goyf. No, our Goyf, did they have 10 or 5 creatures? I guess they could have, yeah. No, we would have had 11 toughness, so it wouldn't have quite killed it. Is Thraben Charmed new Boros deck? I feel like I've seen more of it. It's definitely more popular right now because of all of the reanimator that's been popular. Decklist, you can always type !deck or decks and it'll pop up the Boxfield link. All of the deck lists, you can see what we've been playing over at boxfield.com/users/aspiring-spike. They're really a separate part of my brain at this moment. I store a lot of things in there. Yeah, if you Delny Ragavan, you should be able to XL 2 things. I mean, I do have Bowmaster for that. It's really, really bad if they have the Static Prison, so I think I just want to use my mana here. I have a lot of things to do with my mana. All right, turn 2, 7, 8. Your turn. Let me check on the challenge. 5 matches in progress, 35 minutes in the clock. A Pride and a Ragavan, so almost definitely going to want to just Bowmaster this turn. Bowmaster's too good against this board. Although a second lethal Goyf is tempting. I'm on the Serum Powder Copium. It's good. I think it's like for sure good. I know like a lot of gamers might like just see the deck list and not see it in action and be like, spikes onto some nonsense again, but it's just been really consistently good. Here's how I started to think about it that really made me understand too. Is like Serum Powder is in this deck such a unique effect where you powder and then the rest of your deck is so much, you're powdering for value. Like when you activate Serum Powder, it becomes something that makes the rest of your deck much more powerful. And then your 7-card hands you're seeing are just stronger. It's like even better than Leyline Scion in that sense that that like you don't have to have both of them in your opening hand at the same time for it to be this really big, powerful, impactful thing. It's really powerful and impactful for your future hands, which is to me really crazy. Okay, so that was a fast game. Yeah, and then Ketramose and Goyf being on instantly is just so crazy. Pretty fast match. 4 matches in progress. Yeah, plus it's a bad hit if they hit it with Ragavan. But you know, if Leyline Scion is playable, you have to open your heart to Powder Goyf too. And then sometimes it goes really crazy. Sometimes you get multiple powders and you just have... I've had 21 Power Goyfs on turn 2. No, let's start a cube draft, I think.